Hello and welcome to today's topic. In today's topic, we're going to be looking at youth empowerment and social constructs. So, when we hear youth empowerment, what comes to mind? It simply means enabling your youth to be able to do things that they wish to do, creating an enabling environment for your youth. And we like to look at Nigeria. So when you look at Nigeria, you will know that a huge, amount or a proportion of the population are young people, which means our population on the average are the youths. So how easy is it for these youths to find their feet or to be able to carve a niche for themselves in the society? How easy is it for youths to make it? And that's what you call youth empowerment. Now, another thing I want to marry up with that topic is the social construct. And social construct simply means how we shape our ideas and ideals in the society, how we define our personalities as a people, what are Nigerians known for basically. So when you look around the world, you will see Nigerians doing well in so many things: football, education, even governments of the world have Nigerians in them. Music, movie, comedy. We are global in everything. And these are more or less young people. If you check the categories of all these people, even in politics, you have the likes of Chimamanda. In literature, we are doing well. In Nollywood, we know, Genevieve Naji's movie Lionheart made it to the Netflix and opened doors for Nollywood to flock Netflix, and anybody in the world can watch our movies. Our music has gone global. From the time of African Queen that Two-Face released his African Queen till now, even Burna Boy won Grammy, Wizkid won Grammy, Thames won Grammy. So you could open any mainstream radio now and hear Afrobeats from the time of Fela as well. So what are the other social constructs that Nigerians have on how do we empower these youths who are doing all these wonders abroad or doing all these wonders in the world? Some of them from Nigeria, they're in Lagos. You see, it's the same Nigerians that are in Nigeria that Nigeria cannot harness their potentials, that go elsewhere and they are able to become whatever they want to become. And it's very painful to understand that a lot of big names in Nigeria has lived elsewhere rather than Nigeria. I mean, let's check them. Chinua Achebe lived in America until he died. Chimamanda just returned. In short, she still lives in two places. She lives in America and lives in Lagos or lives in Nigeria. Peter Obi just returned. He used to live in the UK. Davido lived in America for a while. He's an American citizen. I mean, if you look, even in the whole celebrity industry or entertainment industry, a big chunk of them are returnees from abroad. And there are still people who made it from the streets of Lagos. Shout out to Wizkid and Olamide's and the rest of them. But what is important here is how easy was their story. A lot of stories are similar in Nigeria. It's usually a very from bitter to sweet, grass to grace, gutter to stadium kind of story. And you find out that there is no assistance or help or support that they got from the government in their stories. It's usually self-driven, self-reliance, self-motivated, self-whatever kind of goal that they've achieved for themselves. So that is what we are trying to discuss. What are the best practices? How does other governments help their young people who probably want to go into music or who want to go into acting or who want to go into comedy? I was listening to Basketmouth's one of his interviews, and he was talking about having comedy clubs. Nigerians don't have comedy club. I mean, he himself has established one in Lagos there. We don't have comedy clubs. Our Nollywood is purely run by private sector. There is no government intervention. A few of the Nollywood actors have actually gone into government in different capacities, but nothing has been done for the industry as such. It's not as big as Hollywood is, and even have their own place there in even have a place you call Hollywood and all of that. It's a big industry there. Here in the UK, you always have this partnership with the government, especially when you're a young person that is doing well. They even give you an award or give you a good recognition. Somebody like Ed Sheeran is well celebrated here, always partnering with the government, trying to help the youths or to assist in one way or the other. Somebody like Marcus Rashford, who has, he's a footballer for Manchester United, but because, the government saw what he did or what he tweeted, for the children to have free lunch, they've actually given him an award and also, partnered with him, and that's what it should be. Government should be able to listen to these people of influence, young people who have made it in life, and project them. And that's how you build that social construct. So young people will know, okay, this is the kind of line I should toe, and then, get recognition from the government. But then if you have a society whereby the likes of Portable, the likes of Bobrisky, and what the internet is shunning on people all the time, projecting on people all the time, what you get is a society who thinks that being crazy pays. And as funny as it sounds, there is drug abuse in Nigeria. There's a new one that I saw that is making rounds down called Kolos. We've heard of Miri, we've heard of all sorts of different kind of crackhead, like cracks that people take in Nigeria. And all this drug abuse is because of how we celebrate craze, like madness in Nigeria. From Awenaki Mapako, the lifetimes of Terry G to Koromenta to all madness, anything madness is being celebrated. So those are our social constructs, and we need to start changing them. And now there's another thing I noticed with going to a lot of Nigerian conversations, trying to see how the conversations are being navigated, what people are always talking about. I noticed that a lot of them have to do with two things, either money or sex. Then you will see Nigerians there. If you go to any post that it has to do with money or it has to do with sex, then you see Nigerians commenting and throwing themselves up and down there. It's purely because our social constructs are based on those two things. Now, this is the problem. Whenever you see yourself, the first time you meet somebody or you look at somebody, and the first thing that appears in your head or you think about is physical, then you are not mentally civilized. You are not mature. If when you meet people, the first thing you see is a woman's boobs or her body, or you are looking at how sexy she is, or you are thinking of how to smash her or how beautiful she is, then you've lost it. Because that's not how civilized people are. And this is the thing I found that is very disheartening with Nigerian conversation. You go on people's live, and I'm asking myself, if these are all Chinese people, would this conversation be about sex and money and nonsense? Certainly not. So when you look at other people's culture and other people's society and their social construct, you see that it is always driven with what their beliefs are, what their common beliefs are. And that sort of navigates their conversations or their social lives. But then when you come to Nigeria, you see that what we always tend to push out there is looks, physical, whatever, and that's why you have things like BBL, all this plastic surgery making a lot of rounds, because we are always focused on the physical. Whenever you look at a guy and the first thing you could see is his designers, or how tall he is, or how black he is, or how handsome he is, then you need to check yourself. So how you know you are mature enough is that when you are in a civilized society, you are coming for a meeting, you are meeting somebody for the first time, you're not looking at how beautiful she is, or how nice her hair is, or how nice her makeup is. No. Something brought you there. You are going down to business. Uyibo, they first talk business. And when business start going smoothly, right? That's why they say business comes before pleasure. When business start going smoothly, then if they find a common ground and they want to hit things up, they hit it up. If not, they leave it there. Everybody goes back to their business. And now then do this sex thing pass us. But we don't even know how to do the do. And yet we are the ones always emphasizing something we don't even know how to do. Most of the things we are doing in Africa, we even learn from them. But these guys know how to prioritize things. And that's why you have a lot of innovations, a lot of things we use are always coming from the West. And now the East as well. So what exactly are we producing? Nothing. Because socially, the way our constructionism is because we're always based off material things, consumption, physical looks, and we don't know how to look at the content of our head. Because you go into a meeting, a woman is speaking, you are supposed to be listening. Let me tell you something here. Since I started working, all my bosses have been women. I've always been working under women. And they are very fantastic managers, all of them. The only one time that I worked under a man, our overall boss is still a woman. And everybody pays attention. So when you see them, you're not looking at your manager like she's a woman. Nah. You're not looking at how beautiful she is or how whatever sexy, blah, blah, blah. No. Most of them are married anyway. And we know these people, when you come into meetings, you're discussing meetings, you have opinions, you're sharing them. People are deliberating every day, trying to exchange ideas, solve problems. But our own, we're always looking at women. We're always looking at sexualizing things. We're always looking at how rich are you. If you are not rich, don't talk. If you are poor, you're talking nonsense. And that is the problem. That is the foundational problem of our society. And this is the same society that produces our politicians, that produces our clergymen, that produces our police, that produces our judiciary, that produces our legislature. That's why anybody knows that as far as he has money, he is going to be respected. And as far as he has money, he can buy anybody up. That are the dangers of our current social construct. Youth empowerment is not just money. Money is a big part of it. But youth empowerment means when a young person comes through the door and he sounds intellectual enough, he's supposed to be given a listening ear. You're not supposed to be checking out who is your father. Where are you from? Do you have money to bribe your way to get this? No. Elsewhere, the best brains get the best jobs. Nigeria is about who is your father, who is your mother, or you go to this school. A cousin of mine down in Onitsha got a scholarship. Can you believe it? A rich woman bought the scholarship from her parents because her parents needed the money instead. They didn't even want the child to go far. They didn't even have money to even help him. So they have to sell the scholarship to a rich person's child to be able to travel to whether Malaysia then or Singapore. I can't remember where the scholarship was. So this is the problem. Our social construct is heavily based on money. Anybody that has money can come into a bank and there is a queue and will be attended to first. So as far as you are rich, you are more important, your life worth more, and you are special. As far as a girl is beautiful, you have every undue advantage over anybody. Because everybody wants to sleep with you. So as a society, as a people, unless we understand that we're supposed to be looking at the capacity of individuals, and not whether they are male or female, whether they are sexy enough or beautiful enough, or they are rich, or their father is this, or their mother is that, we are going to continue messing our society up. And that society is what we keep bringing the idiots we have in power today. And that's why when you see the likes of Peter Obi tell you that almost all his ministers were women, he knew what he was after. Like I said, all my bosses are women. I've always worked under women and I never had a problem. Because women, study has shown, are fantastic managers. Men always have one problem. They always want to have a woman. Once a man is in charge, you always want to go and have a side chick. Or have somebody who will be spending money, a concubine. But you see women, they are not after a man. They certainly will not be paying for a man to stay in a hotel. They certainly will not be sponsoring a man to be going to Dubai. And that's why we need more women in society. And not just any woman. Women that have something upstairs. Our social construct needs to change from money and physical looks and how well you are dressed, the perfume you are smelling, or the car you parked, or whatever that we use to show our advantages socially. Unless we move away from the physical appearance. Oh, he looks Igbo, he looks Yoruba, he looks Hausa, and then you cut him off without checking the ability of his mind, the capacity he has, the training he has. We're supposed to be selecting people based on competence. We're supposed to be allowing people to talk based on what are their content. And that's why you have insider climbs in all developed countries of the world. They don't just, when you walk through the door, they're asking you one question and one question only. Can you do the job? If you can do the job, you are hired. Nobody cares about who you are. Nobody cares about how ugly you are. Nobody cares about how handsome you are. Nobody cares about how beautiful you are. Nobody cares about how rich you are. Can you get this done? And there is always a time to it. Because time is what guides everything in this world. Time is the common factor that the rich, the poor, everybody has. And it's only 24 in a day. So no matter whatever you are doing with your time, whether you are watching movie, you are producing something, you are flying from one place to the other, time is what everybody has. Now that time is what you are supposed to use to guide whatever. Buhari had 8 years. In that 8 years, what has he achieved? Nothing. So if you have not achieved anything, that is it. Your time has elapsed. And that's how you're supposed to be judged. That in these 8 years, you've achieved nothing. You check the ministers and the ministries, whatever, what have they achieved? If you have not achieved anything, we have a Nigerian in World Trade Organization, WTO, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. Buhari helped her to get in there. She's a woman. The reason why she went there was to help Nigeria's trade. Maybe it has worked because APC is now boasting that oil can only amounts to about less than 10% of our revenue. So maybe it has worked. Maybe not, because the economy is not doing well. I don't know what that is down to. But these are the examples I want to bring out. When Okonjo-Iweala is speaking, you don't look at her appearance. You don't look at her physically. Right? When Chimamanda Adichie is speaking, yes, she's beautiful, she's beauty, she's pretty and everything. But you're not looking at her physical looks. You're looking at her because of what she has, her content. How many people do we have in power in Nigeria that can say, yes, these people are sound up there? It's only when Peter Obi is talking that everybody pays apt attention. Is it about these are the people we are going to be following in the next 8 years? Somebody making gaffes up and down, and people are trying to tell us, oh, he was intelligent, he's a genius, blah, 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 and has all this long list of controversies. Today now we are hearing that his son bought £11 million house. After all the spending in the election, they still have excess of £11 million to buy a house, a questionable house that Bloomberg bought, not Nigerian journalism. Thank God it's coming from Oyibo. When parents send their children to school, they don't put their children in the school asking which tribe is the teacher. As long as he can compare the children in the airplane, nobody asks the same question. Yes, and we shouldn't be. We shouldn't be asking questions of which tribe. If you go to the hospital, anybody can treat you. If you enter a plane, you don't even, most of the times in the plane, you don't even know who your pilot is. It's only when you are seated and belted that the pilot will say, hello, my name is blah, 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 blah. Then you probably know, oh, he's even a Muslim that is flying me. And at that point, you're not coming down. They've already closed the plane off the door. And eventually you get to your plane safe and sound. So we need to understand that society, what we need to be pushing out there is our intellect. We need to come away from this money, because if you make money the most important thing in your life, you will be very, very unhappy. Who are the world's richest men? You talk about Bill Gates, you talk about Microsoft, you talk about Amazon, you talk about Jeff Bezos, you talk about Warren Buffett, you talk about what's the name of this guy that I saw the other day that is the richest man? His name is I can't remember his name now. He's the richest man in the world. Now, these people are not sleeping. They are still working hard. Talk about Elon Musk. You talk about Tesla, SpaceX, Twitter. He's just... See, if you want to be the world richest man, you will not sleep. You got no sleep. You're going to be like a squirrel in a wheel. But life's supposed to be purpose. What purpose are you here to achieve? How many people are you meant to impact on? As a matter of fact, Amazon has affected all our lives. We rely on Amazon sometimes. In your life, you must have ordered something from Amazon. Facebook has shaped our life. Mark Zuckerberg. And he's on the list as well. Elon Musk has shaped our life. Everybody's now at some point going to buy an electric car. So when you are looking at these people, you see that they had a purpose. Microsoft, everybody's using a Microsoft software or Microsoft computer. Do you understand? So these people have achieved their purpose and they are going on to more bigger purposes. And these people, when Mark Zuckerberg came to Nigeria, he was on his simple tees, Yes, he might be designers, I don't care. Right? But he's not there to show you his physical worth by his looks. No, he wants you to know his value. His face is his value, not his clothes. Money should be the last thing on your mind in this life. You've got teachers. Teachers makes the most impact. Teachers bring up doctors. Teachers make any profession are made by teachers, right? And teachers enrich. In most clubs, players earn more than their managers. And if there is a downfall in the club or in a team, who is to be blamed? The coach. But he earns even lower than some of the players. Life is never about money. Life is never about money. Life is never about your looks. There's nothing to do with your looks. If you check the most powerful women in the world, they are not the most prettiest. If you check the world's most powerful men, they are not the most handsome. It's nothing to do with your looks. So if you are beautiful, if you are handsome, no offense, go and work hard. Carve a niche for yourself in the society. Bring some value to the table. There are people that you cannot do without. Go to Finland. Some Finnish people that build the Intel, the processor. There is the processor in the motherboard of computers. They are Finnish. Yeah? They were the first to be evacuated from Finland, though, before the Ukraine-Russian war. UK and America said, oh yeah, come. They evacuated them from Finland to make sure they are safe because the world cannot do without these people. That's how powerful they are. You probably don't know their name. I probably don't know their name. But their brain is called... The guy that just resigned from Google that said he's scared of this whole robotic chat GPT that they are thinking is going to challenge human beings, right? Who knew his name? He's just resigned. But he's the brain that built those robotic. You know what it takes to build robots? That can certainly do what human beings can do. Just a simple software, a simple... let's just use Facebook. You know how many billions of lines of coding it takes to make Facebook as sophisticated as it is? And think about robots. Because you have data, then you have big data. Then from big data, you have machine learning. From machine learning, you have artificial intelligence. From artificial intelligence, you now have artificial general intelligence. Then you start going robotic, and then you have Internet of Things. People are sitting down, scientists are closed up night and day trying to discover what will help humanity. People are fighting, trying to make sure this world is protected against UFOs or aliens or whatever. What impact are you making? What purpose are you in this life to make? It's not about your looks, never has been. Our mindset in Nigeria needs to change. The way we look at people. You need to understand that people have been so rich and they became so poor. Bill Gates was up there. After his divorce, he came right down. The same thing with, what's his name? Jeff Bezos. Two of them had divorce and they came right down. Yes, they built themselves back up because it's their brain that makes the money anyway. But you need to understand that it is not about your looks. And we need to change that narrative. Whenever we see anybody with G-Wagon or Rolls Royce, we count them as successful. Successful in what exactly, please? What have you successfully achieved? What is success to you? We need to be contented. And we need to start celebrating people of intellectual ability, people who have actually done things that are worthy of emulation. People like Professor Nenna. Not people who have robbed us of democracy like Yakubu. We should find ways to uphold people like P2B, men who have shown that a politician don't have to be dirty, that a politician can be clean. So our social construct, we need to start looking at it. And our government should pay attention to empower those youths that are helping healthy youths to come up and make them big influencers, because that's what other people do. Yes, when white money came out of BBN, the government of Enugu State called him, right? He's doing well for himself. He's a good man. We need more people that needs to be recognized. Before the election, you had some of these online comedians that were called into government houses. I don't know what they were told by APC government. But what I'm trying to say here is that those comedians or those influencers that we know are giving value to the society, government needs to recognize them, empower those youths. Those youth that have ideas, genuine ideas. I'll give you one name because I know him. I've interacted with him personally. Somebody like Okon Lagos, right? He's a celebrity, but not just a celebrity. He's somebody that is sound intellectually. Those are the kind of people that government need to empower. You know, we need to engage youths that are doing great things. That are used. If you look around, you see they are doing great things. We need to empower them even more. Ask them what they need. Project them. We are losing the likes of Wizkid and Burna Boy to Ghana. They are moving out of the Nigerian system because there are nothing. Yes, Mr. Macroni too. We have great individuals, great youth who are doing great things. We are supposed to empower them. Government's supposed to. That's why. And we always have Ministry of Youth empowerment and all these things. But we don't know what they do. You will see one old man who will be there and say he's Minister of Youth and whatever. And you will not see what they are engaging. They are not engaging nobody. We have Nigerians doing excellently well. People like Victor Osimhen. Excellent footballer. People like that supposed to be engaged with. Say, you are a part of us. What are you going to do for these young kids? Help the kids on the street. These are what other countries do. They get their footballers to go to primary schools, meet young children, inspire those children. Even if they're not going to play football and do other things, there are so many games in the Olympics. Nigeria, everything is just dead. We don't even know how to use our own people. You look at Victor Osimhen, go to his page and look at people taking pictures of videos he's posting. Sometimes it's small kids from Napoli there in Italy that are celebrating him. He's influencing, impacting those children of Italians, but then in Nigeria, nobody even knows him. Because we're not projecting those people. Rather than that, we are projecting stupid people. And that's what our bloggers, our main media bloggers, every time they will posting people of LGBTQ that you know, the Bobrisky, the BC Asimi, those are the nonsense people they will keep pushing. Every week, they have to give them one post. And we have people that have morals, that have ideals, that are doing excellently well, and nobody is pushing them unless it's a paid advert. We need to empower our youths. And our social construct needs to move away with money. We need to start telling our children that money does not matter. Otherwise, we are going to face the dangers of a corrupt society that only appreciates money, and that's why you have prostitution, Yahoo boy, and all the vices in the rise. I'm going to stop here because I'm still trying to make my videos very short. And please like, share, comment, send it to a politician, anybody that you have in government. Let's keep spreading these words, because most people don't hear the truth, and people are all interested in frivolities, and we need to start getting these things corrected. Thank you so much, and God bless you. Till next time.